Okay guys, welcome back. So in the last video I talked about the theory about parallelogram law. So I'll introduce it again in this video. So I'll be using special what happens when some special things happen to this equation. So first of all I'll draw the triangle, I'll draw the construction and then write the equation. So then we can identify what's going on, what we can do more to this equation. Alright. So what I called you is that if I have some force F or P here, right? I have some force P here, and I have some force Q like this, right? And this angle is theta. You can construct a parallelogram using this. Like this, right? P, Q, you can construct a parallelogram like this, right? So then you can find the resultant of these two forces, right? Resultant of these two forces are, so we found R square is equal to P square plus Q square plus 2 times P times Q times cos theta, right? R squared is equal to P squared plus Q squared plus 2 times P times Q cos theta. Alright. So R squared is equal to P squared plus Q squared plus 2P cos theta. So the first instance, the first variation is what happens when theta varies. Now you know that you can isolate cos theta here, right? So you can take R squared. No, I'll do first thing I'll vary theta, right? Theta vary, right? Theta vary, and what happens to theta? What happens to R actually? What happens to R when theta is equal to 0? When theta equals 0, cos 0 is equal to here cos 0 1, so this is 2pq. So R squared is equal to P squared plus Q squared plus 2pq, right? R squared is equal to P squared plus Q squared plus 2pq, so this is actually equal to P plus Q whole thing square. So R will be equal to P plus Q, right? R will be equal to P plus Q. So that should happen because now if theta is 0, so theta is the angle between these two. So if theta is 0, P and Q will coincide, but if P is not equal to Q, so it will be a position like this. Now P is like this, right? And if theta is 0, Q will be also in the same direction along the same line like this. So you learned in the first video, so if you have not watched that video, I invite you to watch that video and come back. So you learned in the first video that if two forces are in the same direction, their resultant will be their summation, R equals P plus Q, right? So that's what we get when we put theta equals 0 to this equation as well. So the second instance is when theta is equal to 90, right? Theta equals 90. So in this equation, R squared equals P squared plus Q squared plus 2pq cos theta. When theta is equal to 90, cos 90 is 0, so 2pq cos theta will be 0, right? So R squared will be P squared plus Q squared, right? So that also happens. Now if theta is 90, in this diagram, this side will now be vertical, right? Q will be, P is already horizontal. Q, now theta is, we are increasing theta, now we are measuring theta like this, counterclockwise or anticlockwise. So if theta is 90, we are increasing from 0 and up to 90. So Q will be horizontal, P will be vertical. These two forces will be perpendicular to each other. So the forces will be like this, P will be like this, Q will be like this, right? So we have to find the resultant of these two forces is R. So we can construct Q here as well. right? Like this. You can draw a parallel line and construct Q here. So it will be like this. This is P, this is Q, and this is R. Right? This will be like this, P, Q, and R. So this is 90 degrees. Now, you know from Pythagoras theorem, now R squared is equal to P squared plus Q squared. R squared plus equals P squared plus Q squared. So, what happens when theta is equal to 180? So you know R squared equals P squared plus Q squared plus 2 PQ cos theta. Right? R squared equals P squared plus 2P, P squared plus Q squared plus 2PQ cos theta. So the third instance is when theta is equal to 180. Theta is equal to 180. So cos 180 will be minus 1. Cos 180 will be minus 1. So what happens is, so R squared equals P squared plus Q squared plus 2PQ times minus 1 is minus 2PQ. So R squared will be equal to P squared minus 2PQ plus Q squared. Right? R squared will be equal to P squared minus 2PQ plus Q squared. So this is P minus Q whole thing square. So R squared is equal to P minus Q whole thing square. So R will be equal to P minus Q. So that's also P minus Q, right? P minus Q, right? So that will be also evident. If theta is equal to 180, so one force will be like this P. In this diagram, you are increasing theta from 0 up to 180. So 180 will be this side, but it is opposite to this side. So it will be horizontal, but P is in this direction, and 180, when you are taking 180, Q will be in this direction. Right? Q will be in that direction. So what actually happens is that P will be in this direction and Q will be in this direction. And assuming P is greater than Q now, we know that the resultant of these two forces will be like this. Now if we have an object like this, you put a force P in this direction and a force Q in this direction, you know R is equal to P minus Q. So this will be R like this. So R is equal to P minus Q. That's what we get when we substitute theta equals 180. So theta equals 0, theta equals 90 and theta equals 180 are special angles in which we can understand what happens to P and Q and what happens to the equation we have got. Alright, so those are about the varying of theta. Now what happens, so we can conclude a relationship now here, right? So I'll draw the graph of cos theta, cos theta against theta like this. It's like this. This is theta, this is cos theta, right? Theta and cos theta. So I can say I'll draw between 0 and 180. So here is 0, here is 90, here is 180. So the maximum value of any cos function, whether it's theta or any angle, is the coefficient before cos theta is 1. Its maximum amplitude or the maximum function is 1. So if you have not watched the videos on trigonometry, graphs of trigonometry, I invite you to watch my videos on graph of trigonometry and come here so you can understand these concepts easily. So the maximum value will be plus 1 and the minimum value will be minus 1. So cos 0 is equal to 1, it should be a point here. Cos 90 is equal to 0, it will be a point here. And cos 180 is equal to minus 1. So this is minus 1, here is 180, so it will be a point like this. So the graph will be like this. Right, a smooth curve. So it will be, the graph will be like this. So now we know, so the graph, what happens to P and Q at these points? So at 0 we got R equals P plus Q. So this is P plus Q, right? At 90 degrees we know that R is equal to P squared plus Q squared, root of that. So P squared plus Q squared, root of that. At 180 we know R is equal to P minus Q, right? R is equal to P minus Q. Assuming P is greater than Q, P minus Q is positive. So what happens is that the maximum function, so if you have some plane like this, if you have some plane like this and an object like this, right? If you have some plane like this, or if you take 0% here, 0 degrees, the maximum angle you can take here is 180 degrees. You can go beyond that. If this is 0, this is the maximum angle is 180. So this will be the only curve you will observe for an object on a plane. So the maximum force that you will experience is when the two forces are in the same direction. So R equals P plus Q, and the minimum force will be when when the two forces are in the opposite direction. So R will be in P minus Q. So you can say for any angle of theta, the resultant force will be varying between P plus Q and P minus Q. So the maximum value R can take is P plus Q. It can be equal as well at 0 degrees. So I will put an equal sign as well. And the minimum value it can take is P minus Q. It can go beyond that. P minus Q. So assuming that R is greater than 0, we normally put P minus P is greater than Q. So if we have some function in which Q is greater than P, we have to get R is greater than 0. So what we put is an absolute value of this, right? Absolute value of this. So P minus Q absolute is, you don't know it actually absolute. You can take P minus Q is greater than R and it is less than P plus Q as well, and sometimes it's equal. So you can say P minus Q is greater than or R is greater than or equal P minus Q, but less than or equal P plus Q. So sometimes if Q is greater than P, this will be minus. So to get a plus value, we take an absolute as well. So R will vary between P minus Q and P plus Q. So that's the range of R, right? R's range is between P minus Q and P plus Q. Alright, so the maximum value R can take is P plus Q, and the minimum value is P minus Q. So in this video I talked about the varying of theta and what happens to the resultant of these two forces. So in the next video I will introduce a new concept on the resultant of two forces and how we can find the resultant of two or more forces actually. So thanks for watching this video and see you next time.